My name is Nick, and I'm going to be the next school shooter of 2018. My goal is at least 20 people with an AR-15 and a couple tracer rounds. I think I can get done. And when you see me on the news, you'll all know who I am. You're all going to die. Pew, 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 pew,
And that's when I had heard there was a school shooting, and it's just, there's no words.
The violence that takes place, the severity of the violence that we're hearing about. It's those men that are in their teens. They hadn't really thought all that stuff out. So it's being, what do we do about that as a society?
I think every major mass shooting that I can think of in the past 20 years has been done by a male.
You know what? The same system that produces men who abuse women produces men who abuse other men. And if we want to talk about male victims, let's talk about male victims. Most male victims of violence are the victims of other men's violence. So that's something that both women and men have in common. We are both victims of men's violence.
And why have you not said you're sorry for taking my mommy away from me? My mommy was the love of my life. I remember that night, and it scares me. You are supposed to love people, not hurt and kill them. What you did was mean. You are mean, evil people.
I guess in my mind, violence is kind of intertwined with masculinity. If you sort of think about the gender binary and you kind of have the ideas, the expectations, the norms, the stereotypes that we associate with men and masculinity, words like aggression, dominance, perhaps even violence come to mind. Is there something about the way in this particular society at this particular point in time we generate people who happen to be men and happen to be violent?
I think the entertainment industry is very much an influence in men's violence. Even beyond movies and TV shows and toys, I know that I have 3 boys. I'm raising 3 boys myself. Even as we try to raise them in a household where respect for women and recognizing that what toxic masculinity is, when they go play video games, they're playing shoot 'em up video game. They're killing people. That's just what they play. Violence is everywhere in media and usually perpetrated by men, going all the way back to, the Godfather movies of the 70s and, these images of men as strong and violent.
You can act like a man! What's the matter with you?
People are oftentimes, especially the men I work with, they're products of their environment. When I say this, what I'm saying is they're coming out of a place of perception. It's subject to how they were educated. It's subject to the environment they came up in. It's subject to what they've been exposed to. If you are in an environment where this is behavior that you normalize because that's what you've experienced. Maybe you experienced your father beating your mother. Or maybe your father's not in a relationship, but he's verbally, he's psychologically, he's emotionally, he's whatever. And then finally he maybe graduated that to being physically or sexually abusive, violent in that way. But that's all you know. So then when you come out of that, you do what you know.
If you're raised in an abusive home, if all you've seen was dad beating up mom your entire life, you're either going to grow up and make the decision, 1, that's who I'm going to be because that's all I know, or 2, I'm going to break this cycle. Breaking a cycle is extremely difficult, but at some point they have to make that decision. And if that's all you know is normal, you have to work really hard at understanding that it's not, educating yourself, and breaking that cycle. Acts of violence, statistically speaking, 1 in 4 women are subjected to intimate partner violence, whereas 1 in 10 men are subjected to intimate partner violence. So we do see it more prevalently in women being the victims than we do men being the victims. It's not something that women talk about because they're made to feel like it's their fault. If I hadn't done this, he would have never done this.
Society tells us that men should be strong. Men are stronger than women. The man should be the protector of his family. Toxic masculinity, you kind of get so infatuated with this idea of what being a man is. Honestly, the biggest public figure I see that displays it is Donald Trump. And we even saw that in the best example was when he was running for president initially in 2016, and we had the ever so infamous video of him saying the P word, but saying that, you know, when you're a celebrity, you can touch women at any time, anywhere you want when you're a celebrity.
Just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the you can do anything.
And then even after that tape came out of him saying that, his reasoning was, oh, that was just locker room talk. You know, that wasn't meant, it was okay, in other words, because that's just locker room talk. That's just how guys talk in the locker room. And that's not okay.
Hurting people hurt people. And, you know, our answer is not to continue hurting, but to look at ways to bring about healing. And everybody in the community has a role that they can play in that. And I hope that in our working together, someday we will eliminate violence against women and children.
One way we can rise above it is by having some of our very popular male celebrities, whether they be athletes or actors, you know, show that there's more to being a man than just being strong. And we are starting to see that too with certain basketball players. Dwight Howard has been very open about his battle with depression, and he's admitting that, hey, I have issues and this is how I deal with them. I don't just shove it down there and put it all out on the court and take it out on other people. So I think as more and more people, more and more men will open up to that side of themselves, we'll see the decrease in boys and young men wanting to be, you know, this toxic masculine figure.